Hello, Antonio Neal here, and welcome to day 27 of doing a monologue every day because I'm an acting major. Today's monologue is Matthew's Testimony by what's his last name? Warren Sager. I've done this one before, and it's Holy Week, so I was like, let's do it again. So yeah, let's get into it. I was a tax collector. We weren't very popular among the people. It was our job to make sure they paid their taxes. Some tax collectors kept a little bit of the money for themselves. Like cheating. I was no different from the rest. But one day I looked up from my table and I saw this tall man standing there. And there was definitely something special about him. And he said, "Follow me, Matthew." So I invited him back to my place for dinner with my friends. And there were some comments about him eating and drinking with sinners. But he loved us. And in turn, we loved him. I was deeply honored and overjoyed to be appointed one of the 12. I learned so much from Jesus, and he so often taught in parables. There were so many miracles. There was this one time, we were on a hillside, and 5,000 men gathered to hear him speak, plus women and children. And it was getting late, and Jesus told us to feed them, but we only had 5 loaves and 2 fish. And Jesus took it, and he blessed them. And we fed them all, with 12 baskets of broken pieces left over. Later that night, he walked on the water. There were so many miracles, countless healings and casting out of demons. He calmed a storm on the sea with just his word. He raised his friend Lazarus from the dead, though he had already been in his tomb for several days. I will never forget that night where we all gathered for the Passover meal. Jesus, he took bread and wine and he blessed it and said it represented his body and his blood. And then he told us one of us would betray him. Not for a minute did we suspect it was Judas. He shared his heart with us that night. He was so deeply grieved. When we got to the garden, he asked us to pray with him, but none of us could stay awake. He looked so greatly burdened. When the crowd arrived to arrest him, we all ran. And they beat him, and mocked him, and made him carry his cross, and they crucified him. And we all gathered in the distance, but we could still see him hanging up there. It felt so important to us that we look. There he was. Jesus, the Lamb of God. Thank you. I did it with a bit of an accent this time because I've been watching The Chosen recently. And even though, I don't know, my accents are terrible, I felt compelled. So if you didn't like it, I apologize. We're going to take the acting, the dialect classes, the accent dialect classes. But, I hope you really enjoyed today's monologue, and it means a lot to me that I'm able to share such words for the Lord on such a holy week, especially because it is this time when he passed. I think I will be doing this one again on Friday. So, I hope you really enjoyed it. And yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. And I'll see y'all tomorrow for day 28. Peace.